Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Inspired Energies. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Just a reminder, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. You really make this channel the reason why we're here, all here today. And if you're new to the channel, at Inspired Energies, we take the approach that we can live our highest joy right now, no matter what is going on in our outside world. You might say to yourself, well, how is that possible, right? Well, it's all an internal experience, right? So we're going to figure out how to get that internal experience in the best possible shape that we can through the wisdom of community and these oracle cards, all right? So I hope everybody's having a great week. You know I love you. And, remember to think of these cards as you go through the week to see, and, see what resonates with you. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So let's get started. So the first card, what we're going to do is we're going to be pulling a card to try to see what is actually going on in the energies outside of us, out there. Okay, so let's see what this card is. The never-ending story. Okay, so right away this card says to me, we want some kind of change, right? And we think we're pressing hard. Maybe we're working really hard for this change, but we keep going around in circles, and it doesn't seem to be changing fast enough for us, right? Have you ever felt that way? Definitely when we're living in our mind, as this woman, you can see she's got her hands on her head. She's sitting there thinking about how she wants her life to change. And meanwhile, she's not paying attention to what's going on around her right now, and how what she can enjoy in the current moment, or how she can tune into what's going on. Like, she's just thinking about a future state that she wants to manifest, right? So let's see what the Oracle deck has to say about this never-ending story. I can't wait to see. So we're at number 37. Just give me a second while I open the deck. All right. So the Oracle deck says, self-criticism, wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas, right? So how much in this life are we, causing our own pain? The Oracle's message is there is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells her of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing, arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, you must not go there, you should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true, right? It's like she has in her head. She's just thinking all of this in her head. Nothing is actually happening. The sky is not falling. And even if it was falling, there's nothing for us to do about that, right? That is totally out of our control. So why are we concerned? The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie. It wants to protect you. This is the protector. And needs to be seen as a victim. That's a big one, right? Like, sometimes we don't realize it when we're thinking, but we're actually putting ourselves in a victim state instead of an actor state, right? So the way out of this, it's saying, is love that lost piece of you. Don't criticize it. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story. And the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful heart, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. All right. So we've got to think about how we can be our own best friends in these situations. And nobody is immune to the mental chatter that goes on in their lives, right? In fact, if you want peace, getting a hold of that mental chatter and being in the present moment, looking at in front of you, like what's in front of you. I'm looking at a painting I did yesterday. I'm looking at, can't see it, but there's roses right here, right? There's flowers over here. There's reasons to be happy in the present moment, all right? So I can totally relate to this. I do feel like I'm spinning around and around, and I feel like, sometimes that I have all the answers, but the reality is sometimes I'm also not ready for that change as much as my mind thinks I am. So give yourself a break is, I think, the message of this card. All right? We're going to move on to the next one, which is going to help us understand a little bit more of what's going on internally. All right. So, magic stream. Let me get this up here so you can see it without a magic stream. All right. So this is immediately is making me feel better after what we just talked about. We were internal to our mind, and now actually, we can take a moment and realize there are things to be appreciative in the moment while we're going through our own dramas. And look at how beautiful this card is with the magic stream. And this bird here, I want to say it's a stork, but I'm not totally sure. Probably not maybe it's a crane. So let's take a look and see what the wisdom of this magic stream. It's going to help us relieve our never-ending story, okay? All right, so magic stream, the message of the oracle card is everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. I already feel better, from going through my own mental madness and thought patterns to remembering that everything is connected, okay? So every experience you have seems to have its own life story with a beginning, a middle, and eventually an end. However, there is danger in seeing events as separate from one another, since they, in fact, are all part of a continuity of a greater evolution, right? So let's go back to this never-ending story, right? This woman sitting on her waiting game here, she is obviously feeling disconnected, right? And the magic stream is saying, look, there's more to you. There's more to life than being alone by yourself in your own story. Okay? Like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations rarely come just to one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. Okay, so tap into the shared storehouse of potential. You are not on your own. You are not alone. There are billions of people out there, okay? And we're going through this journey together. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for great inspiration. Allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Your success will benefit many. Okay, so this is a card of not just community and continuity with the universe and the story of others being in the journey with us, but it's also a message of go with the flow, right? Like magic stream, go with the flow. When you're sitting here in this state of worry and waiting, take a break from this mental state and look at where the flow is going and realize that you can sail and drift down that stream with it, okay? And get out of your mind, get out of your mental patterns of worry. Because in the moment, in this very moment right now, if you are watching a YouTube video, you're doing okay. You're actually doing okay. There's nothing wrong in this very moment, except for the way we're thinking, okay? So the more you can bring yourself into that present moment, the better. Okay, so we're gonna do a wisdom of the animals, okay? And we're gonna see what the animals have to teach us, because animals are great for being in the moment. Okay, so owl spirit, you see clearly now. So this is where we're going to be, all of us, if we can get out of our mind, We can get into the flow of the magical stream, and we can wake up to what's going on in the present moment. We will see clearly, okay? Seeing clearly and having clarity. So let's see what the, let me see, this is 43. I'm going to go right over there. Okay. So, Owl Spirit, you see clearly now. The message is, Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Again, back to the stream of consciousness here, right? The consciousness that we all share. You're not alone in your own story, okay? You might be alone in your mind, but we got to get out of our mind. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense that it has, including the first sense of intuition. So right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged, okay? So get out of your mind and get into your senses, okay? Get into your senses, get out in nature is part of it. Get out for a walk, get some fresh air, okay? Your sensitivities are turbocharged and you're receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines, what is invisible to the naked eye, and what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge and availability to you. Clarity will come as soon as you sit with all that you are seeing. Allow your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Again, this is tied in so beautifully with having your senses be a part of the whole and not just a small part of it, okay? And, this woman here, she's not noticing the beautiful view she has around her. She's up in the sky. She's got fairy wings or something here too. There's all these wonderful things that are going on in her life that she's not noticing because she would prefer to pay attention to the story in her mind. Change the story. Get out into nature. Change the story to something that's more supportive to your mental health, right? Get out in nature, feel your body, get some of that stress out of your body, and you'll get some clarity. Okay, so now we're going to do some manifestation, a real quick manifestation card. I already shuffled these, but we'll do it again. Okay, so here's an affirmation that can help you if you're having trouble getting out of your mind. Every cell in my body is thriving. Tell yourself, your brain, this story, okay? Switch the story from whatever's going on in your mind that's driving you crazy, and just have this mantra: every cell in my body is thriving. When you tell your brain that, your cells immediately hear that and they start to thrive. Literally, it's like, all of the positive power of intention, all that stuff. When you can switch your thoughts, your body responds. Okay, so give yourself a new story to tell. All right, one last card is going to be our angel number for the week, and it is 26. I am tactful. Are we tactful? Sometimes not so tactful, right? So let's see what this card has to say. You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. Okay, well, to be honest, when you think about if you're in your mind, another way to get out of your mind is to focus on how you can serve others, right? And in a tactful way, rather than being reactive to your own mind and your own situation. And sometimes we take that out on other people, right? But if we just focus on how we can serve, you might find that story in your head is no longer a problem for you, and you've cured yourself, okay? At least for the time being. So, okay, I love this message. You know, this is something that we all have to deal with, and I hope that this was helpful for this week, this month of November, after we've been through two major eclipses. I don't know if you also follow astrology, but we had two eclipses this past month, and it's bringing about a lot of change. And with change can come stress and anxiety, but just, you know, again, the cards say go with the flow. It will bring clarity. Focus on your body, say your affirmations, and make sure that you focus on serving others if you're having a hard time in your own head, okay? And you'll see how quickly that you'll be able to get out of that situation. All right, I hope this helped, and you have a wonderful week based on, you know, the choices that you make, the stories that you tell yourself. I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up. It always helps to support the channel. And if you liked the content, please consider subscribing. And have a wonderful, wonderful week.